ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So Mahatma Vidura is very perplexed and surprised that what happened because of which Mother Sati had to give up her body, especially because all three of them were not ordinary people. Lord Shiva is described very nicely by Vidura as Shilvatam Shrestha. He is the best of gentle people. Chara Achara Gurum. He is the spiritual master of the whole world, of moving, non-moving, everyone. Nirvairam. He is without any enmity to any living entity. Shanta Vigraham. He is a peaceful personality, personified peace. Atma Aramam. He is very satisfied in himself. So these are the great qualities of Lord Shiva. It's a very great personality, and we see he has all these qualities because he is a great devotee of the Lord. Vaishnavanam Yathashana. Daksha is also not an ordinary personality. He is a Prajapati, given the in charge of increasing the population of this creation, specifically appointed by Lord Brahma, given this work. So he is also a great personality. And because all his daughters were very exalted, they're all very dear to him. He's very affectionate to his daughter, like any other father. Duhitra Vatsalaha. So these are the qualities of Daksha. And Mother Sati, Prabhupada explains, the word Sati itself signifies she is very chaste, very pure in her mind with respect to following her duties as a wife. All the daughters were very exalted, but specifically this daughter, Sati, was very exalted. This is a great quality of a woman, to be very chaste in her married life. So he was very surprised that all three are great personalities. Lord Shiva is such a great personality. Daksha is also not an ordinary person. Mother Sati is very exalted. Then how come so much enmity happened between father-in-law and son-in-law, Daksha and Lord Shiva, that the daughter and wife of Lord Shiva, Sati, she was forced to give up her body. And it is not very easy to give up body. It is very difficult. It is practically impossible. Even in the most wretched condition of life, the living entity does not want to give a body. A pig is living in the most abominable condition, but if you ask a pig, you change your body, even pig will not like to change his body. It's very difficult to give up the body. So what made her, what became so terrible fight, so much inimical, that she was forced to give up her body? Why Daksha neglected her affectionate daughter? Why did he insult Lord Shiva, who is so gentle? What happened? So these were the questions which were asked by Vidura, and now Maitreya Rishi is replying. So Maitreya Rishi is saying that in the former times, that means quite long back, Pura. So Prabhupada says that at the time of Swayambhu Manu, in his time, Pura, the leaders of the universal creation, Vishwasrajam, so Daksha, Marichi, Vashishtha, all these great personalities who were given the task of increasing the population of this world, so they are called as leaders of universal creation. They all got together to perform a great sacrifice, Satre. So they all assembled together to perform the great sacrifice. Along with them, many other great personalities assembled. Sametaha. Sametaha means many other people assembled at that place. Who are those great personalities? Param Rishayaha, great sages. Then Amarganaha, great demigods. They are called Amargana. Munayaha, philosophers, great thinkers. They also assembled. Aganayaha, fire gods. All of them assembled. Sa Anugaha, along with their followers. So all of them assembled along with their followers, and for what reason? They wanted to perform a great fire sacrifice. And in the previous verse we saw Prabhupada explaining what this fire sacrifice was meant for in the last to last. Okay. In the second chapter of the fourth canto, the cause of dissension between Lord Shiva and Daksha, which was due to a great sacrifice arranged by Daksha for the pacification of the entire universe. So, this great sacrifice was arranged for the welfare, pacification of the whole universe. So we find that actually these performances of great sacrifices were very important part of Vedic society. Great personalities, great kings would also take up to perform varieties of sacrifices for the welfare of their people, welfare of the whole world. So one may wonder, what is there in these sacrifices which will give the welfare of the whole world? Isn't it? So this is very important to understand. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling that at the time of creation, the Lord created these sacrifices so that people can fulfill their material desires and at the same time be happy, they can live peacefully and gradually advance in spiritual life. We see the example Lord Krishna gives that how all living entities are dependent on food. So first of all, even if we have to perform bhakti, first of all we are dependent on food. We are not transcendental in our conditional life. In conditional life, we have to keep the body and soul together. So devotees should not think it material. This is essential to understand. To properly maintain the body is not material. To maintain the body for sense gratification is material. To maintain the body for engaging it in the service of the Lord is spiritual. It is not material. So, two very important things Krishna tells. One is, one has to work. One cannot be free from work. There is no possibility any living entity can be free from work. Next, Krishna says, even to maintain one's body, one has to work. So work has to be done anyway. So Lord Krishna, He has made an arrangement that work can be done for satisfaction of the Lord. So even if we have to work, if work can be utilized for satisfaction of the Lord, not for the goal of sense gratification, and for the satisfaction of the Lord, maintenance of the body, whatever is required to maintain the body, it is still for the satisfaction of the Lord. It's very simple to understand. Suppose car is given to you to utilize for a purpose. Say for example, all of the preachers are having their cars, isn't it? So all the preachers are utilizing their cars for service of Krishna. For what the car is being utilized? You are going out and meeting people. So car is given to you to serve the Lord. Isn't it? It is just like very simple. You are waving the chamara for serving the Lord only. This is also service. You are waving peacock fan and you are serving. There is no difference between the body of Krishna and the mission of Krishna. So when you are serving the mission of the Lord, there are certain instruments which are utilized for that also. So let us say for example, you are given a vehicle, you are given a car. So you are using the car to go to meet people, right? Now the maintenance of the car, if you start thinking, what I have got to do with maintaining the car? Isn't it? I should simply use the car. Isn't it? Suppose you don't think about the maintaining the car, what will happen? After a few days, car will be spoiled. No longer you will be able to use the car for service of the Lord. So maintenance of the car is non-different. This is very important. So similarly, this vehicle, this body is also a car. It is also a vehicle given by the Lord. So maintaining this body properly once you have surrendered to the Lord, this body does not belong to us. Sanatan Goswami, he wanted to take up this body, give up this body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you have surrendered to me. This body does not belong to me. It does not belong to you. It belongs to me. I will utilize as I like. So you have no right to give up this body. So similarly, we should understand, once we have surrendered to the Lord, this body belongs to Krishna. So I must take care of this body. But what happens is, you take extra care of the body, you will become attached to the body. That is the problem. Then you will start thinking this is your body. So extra care is not required. Special vehicle is not required. Take ordinary vehicle, otherwise you will become attached to the vehicle. Rolls-Royce is not required. Innova is not required. You will become attached to that vehicle. Extra care of the body is not required. You will become attached to the body. Minimum, what is required, we should take care. That is the idea. And that is called as Yukta Vairagya. This is the understanding of Yukta Vairagya. Means we are not attached to that particular object. That object is there or not does not matter. My goal is to serve Krishna. Isn't it? This is very important. So, Krishna also says that in Bhagavad Gita, that if you have to maintain, if living entities have to maintain, they are dependent on Anna. Annad bhavanti bhutani. And then Krishna is telling, if Anna has to come, then rains must be there. Correct? And if rains have to come, then yagna has to be performed. Yagnad bhavati parjanyo, parjanyad anna sambhavaha. Because of rains, there is grains, and we are all dependent on grains. So, what is important? If you have to maintain your body also, you have to perform yagna. Without pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yagna means, Yagno Vai Vishnu. It is said in the Vedic literature, yagna is not something meant for satisfaction of the devatas. Final satisfaction is of Lord Vishnu. It may be offered through a devata, but it is meant for satisfying Lord Vishnu. Yagno Vai Vishnu. That has to be understood. So that means, even to get your necessity, we have to worship Lord Vishnu. We have to satisfy Lord Vishnu. So now Krishna is telling different methods by which we can satisfy Lord Vishnu. Yagnad karma samudbhavaha. Yagna can be performed if by your activities you serve Krishna. Krishna is telling a method how to satisfy Lord Vishnu by your activities. See how beautiful explanation Lord Krishna is giving. Isn't it? So, if yagna is meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu, whatever yagnas we are performing, then we should also understand, then we should be performing yagnas, right? Here we are seeing all these great creators of, leaders of creation, Prajapatis, all of them have assembled together and they are performing great sacrifice. Because satisfaction of the Lord is central to Vedic principle. It is central. But the difference is, this kind of yajnas could be performed in the past. This kind of yajna could be performed in the past. Different kind of yajna can be performed today. Yajnas can be different. Satisfaction of the Lord is same. This is very important to understand. It is not that Vedic understanding is static. It is very dynamic. The principle is never changed. Application, that can change. And that is dependent on the great personalities. They find out methods by what the Lord can be satisfied in particular circumstances, particular time, particular age. And it is also mentioned in the Vedic scriptures also. So, most important thing in performance of yajna is the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. So there is a very interesting conversation which happened between Ramananda Raya and Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Raya, please tell me the goal, ultimate goal of life of the whole humanity. What is the ultimate goal of life of the whole humanity? Prabhu kahe, pada shloka sadhyera nirnaya. Sadhyera means goal. What is your understanding, nirnaya? What is the ultimate goal for the humanity? Tell me one shloka from the Vedic literature which tells that yes, this is the goal of humanity. So then Ramananda Raya replied, Raya kahe swadharma acharane Vishnu bhakti haya. My dear Lord, if one performs swadharma, his own occupational duty, this will give rise to Vishnu bhakti. It will give rise to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Prabhupada translates this. Ramananda replied, if one executes the prescribed duties of his social position, he awakens his original Krishna consciousness. Now Prabhupada explains where does it come from. Why Ramananda Raya is saying, if one performs his duties according to Varna and Ashrama, he will develop bhakti. Where does it come from? So this is stated in Vedic literatures. First of all, Prabhupada explains, one must understand Chatur Varna is not man-made creation. It is created by the Lord Himself. Chatur Varna Maya Shrishtham Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. I have divided this human society into 4 divisions. 4 social order, 4 spiritual orders. 4 Varna, 4 Ashrama. And all of them have got different duties. Brahmana has separate duty, Kshatriya has a separate duty, Vaishya has separate, Shudra has separate. And how it is divided? It is guna and karma. Social order is also divided accordingly, and ashrama is also divided accordingly. Guna and karma. How? Somebody has nature of a Brahmana, Satyam, Shaucham, all these qualities of a Brahmana. And if he is ready to perform the works of a Brahmana, Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha, two things are there. Guna, nature, and according to nature, if we engage ourselves, best combination. Actually, such a scientific society it was. Is it such a scientific society? Imagine one has no guna of becoming a doctor, and you go, somehow or other he has passed doctorship, you go to such a doctor, he will create havoc. Some devotees might have been having some experience also. Some wrong medicines are given and then you are admitted into ICU. Recently we heard about some wrong medicine was given because not experience, does not have guna and karma, does not have guna of being, So like that. Similarly, Brahmana, he must have that guna of a Brahmana. Kshatriya's guna must be there. And karma, and he should also perform that activities. So Krishna is divided. Similarly in ashrama, somebody feels that yes, he is not agitated in his practice of brahmacharya, he should continue as a brahmachari. He does not require to take grahastha ashram at all. There are many brahmacharis who are Akhanda brahmacharis. Narada, great personality. Bhishma, so many personalities are there. Chatus Kumaras, 4 Kumaras. Isn't it like that? But if somebody finds that it may be difficult for me and he feels that it is better that I take to Grahastha ashram, then according to the spiritual master's advice, with the same renunciation spirit, he can enter into Grahastha ashram. Similarly, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So it's all divided, and all of them, if they perform their duties to satisfy the Lord, then it is Varnashrama's goal is achieved. Otherwise, na utpatiyate ratim yadi, after doing your activities very nicely, you have done Brahmana activity, you have done very nicely. You have done Pathan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. Na utpadiyate yadi ratim, but you have not developed any taste for Krishna. You have not developed any attraction for Krishna. Shrama eva hi kevalam. It's a useless work. So that means all these works, work of a Brahmana, work of a Kshatriya, work of a Vaishya, work of a Shudra, Brahmachari, his duties, duty of a sannyasi, duties of a grahastha, when they carry out their duties to satisfy the Supreme Lord, then you will develop devotional service. That was the goal of Varnashrama. That is what Ramananda Raya is saying. That yes, Lord himself has divided the society into 4, Chaturvarna Maya Shrishtam. And then Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita, Sve Sve Karmani Abhirataha. In their own work, according to nature. Earlier only Krishna has said everybody is according to their nature and work they should be engaged. And Sve Sve Karmani Abhirataha. If they get engaged in their own works, Samsiddhim Labate Naraha. There is no doubt they will achieve perfection of their life. Swakarma Nirataha Siddhim. How one can achieve Swakarma Nirataha, being engaged in one's own karma, how one can achieve Siddhi. Yatha Vindati Tat Shrunu. Now I am going to explain that science to you. See? So it is very important. And then Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had asked him that you recite one verse from Vedic literature, by what you are saying that this should be the goal of life, then you recite that verse. So Ramananda replies, Varna ashrama acharavat purushena paraha puman Vishnuraradhyate pantha nanyat tattosha karanam. There is no other goal for varnashrama. Na anyat tattosha karanam. Apart from satisfying Lord Vishnu, there is no goal for varnashrama. So, one worships the Supreme Lord. Varna ashrama acharavat. If one follows Varna ashrama, then what is he doing? Vishnuraradhyate. He is actually worshipping the Supreme Lord. That should be understood. So after, in the same Bhagavad Gita, after Krishna tells Arjuna that now I am going to speak to you how one can achieve perfection of life by engaging in their own work. Next Krishna says, Yataha pravritir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. Nearly the same verse. Krishna is also telling same thing. Whatever Ramananda Raya has quoted, Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. Yataha pravritir bhutanam. From whom all pravritis have come. Brahmana pravrti, Kshatriya pravrti, all these natures. Who is the source? And then, Yena sarvamidam tatam. And that Supreme Lord who is omnipresent, who is present everywhere. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha. From his own work, one should worship that personality from whom all pravritis have come and who is everywhere. Siddhim vindati manavaha. And thus one will achieve perfection of life. See? So Prabhupada translates, by worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. So, and Krishna also says, Yagna arthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Whatever work you are doing, if you don't do it for Lord Vishnu's satisfaction, for the sake of yagna, you are creating a bondage for yourself. So work should be performed for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So, in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out to Ramananda Raya. Through him, he wanted to make people understand that Varnashrama is external. And the situations have changed in Kali Yuga. There are no qualified Brahmanas, no qualified Kshatriyas, practically very less Vaishyas who are doing Krishi and Goraksha. Practically everybody is a Shudra. Kalau Shudra Sambhavat. So who will follow Varnashrama? Who is doing the work of a Brahmana? Who is doing the work of a Kshatriya? Everything is hodgepodge. So then what is the solution? Something is required, isn't it? So next you will find, he says, okay, does not matter if somebody is not following Varnashrama. Let them dedicate the work in service of the Lord. See? So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kohe eho bahya aage kahara. This is external. Say something more, something better. Raya kahe Krishne karma arpana sarva sadhya sara. Yes, my dear Lord, Varnashrama may be external, but if a person learns how to dedicate his work for the service of the Lord, Krishna karma arpane. See? So Prabhupada translates. The Lord replied, this is external. You had better tell me of some other means. Ramananda replied, to offer the results of one's activities to Krishna is the essence of all perfection. So today this can be done. Okay, you are not engaged as a Brahmana, you are not engaged as a Vaishya or a Shudra. Whatever you are engaged in, somebody is a doctor, somebody is a medical man, somebody is engineer. Result of your work, whatever is the result you are getting out of your work, that result you utilize in service of the Lord. See? So for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's rejects this also. And then Ramananda Raya first quotes about this, because whatever he is saying, he is supporting it with evidence from the Vedic literatures. So he quotes a verse, Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi yat tapasyasi, kaunteya, tat kurushu madarpanam. Ramananda Raya continued, my dear son of Kunti, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, whatever austerities you perform, all the result of such activity should be offered to me, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You see? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe, eho bahya, aage kahara. Tell something more. This is still external. Raya kahe, sarva dharma tyaga, ei sadhya sara. Then Ramananda Raya said that one should give up all occupational duties and surrender to the Lord. That is the essence of all dharmas. This is also external. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please proceed and speak further on this matter. Ramananda Raya replied, to give up one's occupational duties in the Varnashrama system is the essence of perfection. So now Ramananda Raya goes to the point of saying, give up one's occupational duties. That is what the Vedic literature says. And then he supports that with two quotations. One of them I will read. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarve papebhyo mokshashyami mashucha. Krishna is very clearly telling that so many dharmas I may have told you in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, but finally Krishna is telling that you give up all these different kinds of dharma and just surrender unto me. So, to this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again replies, this is also external. Prabhu kahe, eho bahya, aage kaha ara. This is also external. Tell something more better. Raya kahe, jnana mishra bhakti sadhya sara. One should perform devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge. That is the essence. With knowledge one should perform bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and then he quotes several verses from the Vedic literature. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. So, like that. And then one more verse he quotes. So the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then replies, Prabhu kahe, eho bahya, aage kahara, raya kahe, jnana shunya bhakti sadhya sara. One should make jnana shunya and perform only devotional service to the Lord. You see? So then, to this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again replies. And then he quotes a verse from Bhagavatam. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukritam bhavadiya vartam sthane stita shruti-gatam tanuvan manobhir yah prayaso jito ajita jito piyasi taistri lokyam. So to this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, eho haya, yes, this is good. Till now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying that it is all external. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this is good. Jnane prayasa mudapasya. One has to give up jnana prayasa, become very humble and perform devotional service in the association of devotees. Sanmukritam bhavadiya varta. So then one can advance. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Prabhu kahe eho haya aage kahara, rahya kahe prema bhakti sarva sadhya sara. So at this point Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, this is all right, but still you can speak more on this subject. Ramananda Raya then replied, ecstatic love for Supreme Personality of Godhead is the essence of all perfection. So slowly we find then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming to the point of making Ramananda Raya speak of the topmost devotional service performed by the damsels of Vrajabhumi, completely without any expectation, without any tinges. And that is considered to be the highest goal of human life. Following in the footsteps of the gopis, if one can attain pure devotional service as they had attained, that is the highest. So the same yajna, what it was performed for the satisfaction of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving that highest goal, which cannot be even achieved, even by Varnashrama. By Varnashrama, one can come to the point of Vishnu Aradhyate. He can come to the point of worshipping the Supreme Lord. But then there are varieties in that. One can serve the Supreme Lord as Dasya, and then go further as Sakhya, go further as Vatsalya, and then finally Madhurya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is promising in Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Sankirtana Yagna Prayer Yajanti Sumedashaha, intelligent person who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with this Yagna, Sankirtana Yagna, he can get love of Godhead. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that through Sankirtana movement, he is bestowing what none of the incarnations of the Lord earlier bestowed. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually the whole reason of his coming is for this reason, that for a long time, this love of Godhead was not bestowed on the living entity. So the same thing we can achieve in this age of Kali, just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So we'll stop with this Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.